There's a moment in life when we all face a choice: stay in the comfort of our habits or push ourselves into consistency, into commitment, even when it's hard. Success doesn't come to those who just want it. It comes to those who show up every single day, rain or shine. Those who don't let the highs carry them away or let the lows pull them under. It's not glamorous and it's not always fun, but it's necessary. And the thing about consistency is it's not a talent, it's a decision. You have to force yourself, especially when it's inconvenient. It's easy to work when motivation is high, but real growth happens on the days when you don't feel like it. When the excitement has faded and all that's left is your commitment, that's where the magic happens. That's when you truly learn who you are. Consistency means showing up for yourself, believing that even if today's steps seem small, they are adding up. Day by day, brick by brick, you are building something. The best version of yourself won't come overnight, but with steady effort, it will arrive. The power of being consistent is that you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be persistent. You have to push yourself through discomfort, through doubt, and through fear, knowing that your future is being shaped in those moments. And let me remind you, consistency is not just about the big milestones, it's about the little things you do every day. It's in your daily choices, in the decisions you make when no one is watching. That's where strength is built. When you refuse to give up, when you stay the course, even when no one else believes in you, especially then. Because your consistency becomes your reputation, and your reputation becomes your legacy. So force yourself to be consistent. Show up for yourself. Show up for your dreams. Don't let life's distractions pull you off course. Keep your eyes on where you want to go and take those steps every single day. Success, happiness, and fulfillment are not an event, they are the result of staying true to your path. Consistency is a choice we make every single day. It's not something that happens to us or something we stumble upon. It is a deliberate decision to keep moving forward, to keep working toward our goals, no matter what obstacles or distractions come our way. Many people believe that success is about luck or talent. But the truth is, those things only take you so far. What really separates those who achieve their dreams from those who fall short is the willingness to be consistent, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. Choosing consistency means committing to a process, trusting that the small steps you take daily will eventually lead to big results. When you choose consistency, you are telling yourself and the world that you believe in what you are working toward. You are affirming that your goals, your dreams, your ambitions are worth the effort. It's easy to start something with enthusiasm, but it's harder to keep going when that initial excitement fades. That's where many people fall off. They rely on motivation, which comes and goes, instead of building the habit of showing up regularly. But consistency doesn't depend on how you feel in the moment. It depends on your commitment to the bigger picture. Every time you choose to stick with your plan, you're strengthening that habit, making it easier to stay the course the next time. Consistency requires self-discipline. It's about making the tough choice to keep going when it would be so much easier to quit. It's about pushing through those moments when you're tired, frustrated, or discouraged. When you choose to be consistent, you're training your mind and body to operate beyond your emotions. Emotions are fleeting, they come and go like the wind. But discipline stays. It's what keeps you grounded, what keeps you focused when life throws curveballs your way. Discipline is the backbone of consistency because it helps you do what needs to be done, regardless of whether you feel like doing it. Being consistent is also a decision to embrace patience. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with instant gratification, choosing to be consistent means playing the long game. It means understanding that real progress takes time and that overnight success is a myth. When you plant a seed, you don't expect it to grow into a tree the next day. You nurture it, water it, and give it sunlight, knowing that with time, it will grow. The same is true for your goals. Each action you take is like watering that seed. Day by day, your consistent effort adds up, even if you can't see the immediate results. But if you stop watering it, if you lose patience and give up, that seed never gets a chance to grow. Choosing consistency is also about accepting that setbacks are part of the journey. There will be times when you stumble, when things don't go as planned, or when you face unexpected challenges. But consistency doesn't mean being perfect. It means getting back up each time you fall. It means not letting one bad day, one mistake, or one failure define your entire journey. The power of consistency lies in the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you have to start again. Each time you get back on track, you are building resilience, and that resilience is what will carry you to your goals in the long run. Consistency is a choice that teaches you to value progress over perfection. In a world that often glorifies the final result, we sometimes forget that the journey is just as important. When you choose to be consistent, you're choosing to focus on the process rather than being fixated on the outcome. You understand that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. You learn to appreciate the effort you're putting in, to find satisfaction in the act of showing up and doing the work. This shift in perspective is crucial because it helps you stay motivated even when the results aren't immediate or obvious. Consistency also forces you to confront your own excuses. When you commit to being consistent, you have to let go of the stories you tell yourself about why you can't do something. You stop blaming external circumstances and start taking responsibility for your actions. It's easy to make excuses for why we can't follow through: lack of time, lack of resources, lack of energy. But the truth is, if it's important enough to you, you will find a way. Choosing consistency means acknowledging that the only thing standing between you and your goals is your willingness to keep showing up day after day, despite the excuses. Consistency is a daily decision to prioritize what matters most to you. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, to let distractions pull you away from your goals. But when you choose consistency, you are choosing to put your focus where it belongs. You are choosing to invest your time and energy in the things that will move you forward rather than getting sidetracked by things that don't serve your purpose. This kind of focus requires clarity. You have to be clear about what you want and why you want it. And once you have that clarity, consistency becomes your tool for making steady, intentional progress. Finally, choosing consistency means believing in your own ability to achieve your goals. It's easy to doubt yourself when the results aren't coming as quickly as you'd like or when you face obstacles along the way. But consistency is an act of faith, faith in your own potential, faith in the process, and faith in the fact that if you keep going, you will get there. This belief is what sustains you when things get tough. It's what gives you the strength to keep going when others might give up. Consistency builds confidence because each time you follow through on your commitment, you're proving to yourself that you are capable of doing hard things. Growth happens in the inconvenience, in the moments when things are not going your way, when life throws obstacles in your path. It's easy to move forward when everything is aligned, when you feel motivated, and when the road is smooth. But real transformation begins when you are forced to push through discomfort, when you have to navigate challenges you didn't expect or prepare for. The times when you feel the most frustrated, tired, or even ready to give up are often the moments when the deepest growth is happening. These moments test your resolve and force you to dig deeper than you ever thought you could. When things are convenient, there's little reason to stretch beyond your current abilities. You stay within your comfort zone because there's no pressure to evolve. But when you are inconvenienced, when your routine is disrupted, and when unexpected problems arise, you're given a chance to rise to the occasion. These challenges invite you to adapt, to think creatively, and to find new ways of solving problems. Growth requires this friction, this tension between where you are and where you want to be. It's in this discomfort that you learn what you are truly capable of, and that knowledge becomes the foundation for further growth. Inconvenience forces you to confront your limitations. It puts you face to face with the areas where you need to improve, and it doesn't allow you to hide from those weaknesses. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to overlook or ignore the things you're not good at. But when you're under pressure, when things aren't going as planned, your limitations come to the surface. This can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it's necessary. It's only by facing these limitations that you can begin to work on them, strengthening your skills and expanding your capacity. Growth requires this confrontation because it pushes you beyond what you thought was possible. There's also a certain humility that comes with inconvenience. When things aren't going your way, you are reminded that you don't have control over everything. This realization can be frustrating, but it's also freeing. It forces you to let go of the need for everything to be perfect and teaches you to embrace uncertainty. Growth happens when you learn to thrive even in imperfect conditions. Inconvenience strips away the illusion that you can plan for every outcome, and in doing so, it prepares you to handle whatever comes your way. You learn resilience, and that resilience becomes your greatest strength. Inconvenience also teaches you patience. Growth is not something that happens overnight, and the road to improvement is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, delays, and moments when it feels like you're not making progress at all. It's in these moments of frustration that your patience is tested, and it's through this test that growth occurs. Learning to be patient with yourself, with the process, and with the obstacles that arise is a crucial part of personal development. Patience is not about waiting for things to get better. It's about learning to endure and keep moving forward, even when it feels like progress is slow. Inconvenience also has a way of revealing your true priorities. When things are easy, it's simple to keep up with your goals and commitments. But when life gets challenging, you're forced to make choices. You have to decide what's truly important to you and what you're willing to let go of. In these moments, your values are tested, the things that really matter rise to the surface, and you gain clarity about where you should be focusing your time and energy. Growth comes from this kind of self-reflection, from the process of refining your priorities and aligning your actions with what truly matters to you. Inconvenience brings out your perseverance. It's easy to be committed to something when the conditions are ideal, but what happens when the conditions change? What do you do when obstacles get in your way, when progress slows down, or when you face unexpected setbacks? Growth happens when you keep going, despite the challenges, despite the discomfort, despite the urge to quit. Perseverance is built in these moments. It's in the struggle that you develop the endurance necessary to achieve long-term success. Every time you push through an inconvenient moment, you're strengthening your ability to persist. And that persistence becomes a powerful tool in your personal growth. Commit to the small steps because they are the foundation of every big achievement. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the enormity of a goal, to feel like the distance between where you are and where you want to be is insurmountable. But the truth is, every great success is built on a series of small, consistent actions. Each step, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, adds up over time. The small steps are often the hardest to commit to because they don't offer immediate rewards, but they are essential. They create momentum, and that momentum over time builds into something powerful. When you commit to the small steps, you're making a choice to focus on progress rather than perfection. It's tempting to want to see dramatic results right away, but that's not how lasting change happens. True growth and achievement are gradual, and they come from sticking to the process, even when the results aren't visible yet. The small steps might not feel like they're moving you forward, but over time they compound. Each tiny action you take, whether it's showing up to work out for 20 minutes or spending 10 minutes a day reading a book, adds up. These consistent efforts are what ultimately lead to significant transformation. Small steps also teach you the value of patience. In a world that constantly promotes instant gratification, committing to the small steps requires you to develop the ability to wait. It teaches you that meaningful progress takes time and that you can't rush the process. Patience becomes a necessary skill because you learn to trust that the small efforts you're putting in today will pay off down the road. You begin to understand that the journey is just as important as the destination. By focusing on the small steps, you're giving yourself the space to grow at your own pace without the pressure of needing to see immediate results. Another reason to commit to the small steps is that they make your goals feel more achievable. Big goals can feel intimidating, even impossible, when you think about them in their entirety. But when you break them down into smaller, manageable actions, they become less overwhelming. Instead of feeling paralyzed by the magnitude of what you want to achieve, you can focus on what you can do today, right now. By consistently taking those small steps, you build confidence. Each small victory gives you the motivation to keep going, and before you know it, you've made more progress than you ever thought possible. Small steps also help you stay consistent. It's hard to maintain motivation when you're only focusing on the big picture because it can take a long time to see results. But when you break your goals down into smaller tasks, you're able to experience more frequent wins. This consistent sense of accomplishment keeps you engaged and committed to the process. Every time you check off one of those small tasks, you're reinforcing the habit of taking action. Over time, this consistency becomes second nature, and what once felt like a daunting goal becomes something you're steadily working toward every day. Committing to the small steps also cultivates discipline. It's easy to get excited about a new goal or project, but that initial excitement fades quickly when you don't see immediate results. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation wanes, and it's developed through consistent, small actions. By showing up every day and taking those small steps, you're training yourself to stay focused and committed even when it's hard. You're building the mental and emotional strength necessary to keep pushing forward, even when the path isn't clear or the results aren't immediate. When you commit to small steps, you also become more adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be obstacles that threaten to derail your progress. But when you're focused on taking small steps, you're more flexible in your approach. If one method doesn't work, you can easily adjust and try something else without feeling like you've lost all your progress. This adaptability is crucial for long-term success because it allows you to keep moving forward, even when things don't go according to plan. You learn that setbacks are part of the process, but they don't define the outcome as long as you keep taking action. Small steps are also a way to build resilience. When you're working toward a big goal, it's inevitable that you'll face challenges along the way. These challenges can be discouraging, but by committing to small steps, you give yourself the chance to build resilience gradually. Each small step you take, despite the obstacles, strengthens your ability to persevere. You learn that progress isn't always linear, and setbacks don't mean failure. Resilience is built through the act of continuing to move forward, no matter how small the step, even in the face of difficulty. Over time, this resilience becomes a key factor in your success. Committing to the small steps also allows you to focus on the process rather than the outcome. When you're only focused on the end goal, it's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when things don't go as planned. But when you shift your attention to the daily actions you're taking, you're able to find joy and fulfillment in the journey itself. The small steps become a way to engage with the present moment and to take pride in the effort you're putting in, regardless of the outcome. This focus on the process helps you stay motivated and grounded. even when the big picture feels far away. Finally, committing to the small steps gives you control over your progress. You can't always control the outcome of your efforts, but you can control the actions you take each day. By breaking your goals down into small, manageable steps, you're giving yourself the power to make progress on your own terms. You're no longer at the mercy of external factors or waiting for the right time or circumstances. Instead, you're taking ownership of your journey and choosing to move forward one small step at a time. Show up for yourself because no one else can live your life for you. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, constantly attending to the needs of others, fulfilling obligations, and checking off tasks. But in the midst of it all, showing up for yourself is a choice you have to make consciously every single day. It's about prioritizing your own well-being, growth, and dreams, regardless of what's happening around you. This means taking the time to care for your mental, physical, and emotional health, even when it feels like there's no time to spare. When you show up for yourself, you're making a statement that you matter, that your dreams matter, and that you deserve the same care and attention you give to others. Showing up for yourself means recognizing that you are your greatest investment. The time, energy, and resources you pour into your own growth and happiness will always pay off. But this investment requires consistency and dedication. It's not enough to show up sporadically or only when it's convenient. You have to be there for yourself, especially on the tough days when motivation is low, when you're feeling drained, or when the road ahead seems overwhelming. Those are the moments when showing up for yourself matters most, because it's in those times that you're building resilience and inner strength. The commitment to your own well-being has to be unwavering, no matter the external circumstances. When you show up for yourself, you are honoring your boundaries. You recognize that you cannot give endlessly to others without first replenishing your own energy. Boundaries are essential to protecting your time, energy, and mental space, and they allow you to prioritize what truly matters to you. This doesn't mean being selfish, but it does mean understanding that your needs are important and deserve to be met. Showing up for yourself means being willing to say no to things that don't serve you, even when it's difficult. It's about making choices that are aligned with your values and long-term goals rather than giving in to the pressure of the moment. Showing up for yourself is also about self-compassion. It's acknowledging that you won't always have perfect days, and that's okay. Life is full of ups and downs, and part of showing up for yourself is giving yourself grace during the harder times. This means not being overly critical or harsh with yourself when things don't go as planned. Instead, it's about treating yourself with kindness and understanding, recognizing that growth is a process and that setbacks are a natural part of that journey. By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive internal environment that allows you to keep moving forward, even when the road gets rough. In showing up for yourself, you also cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness. This means taking the time to listen to your inner voice and understanding what you truly need, want, and feel. When you're constantly focused on external demands, it's easy to lose sight of your own desires and dreams. Showing up for yourself requires moments of reflection where you check in with yourself, assess where you are, and adjust course if necessary. It's about being honest with yourself about what's working and what isn't, and being brave enough to make changes when needed. This self-awareness empowers you to live a life that is truly authentic and aligned with your own purpose. Showing up for yourself also means committing to your personal growth. It's about continuously learning, evolving, and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of consistent effort. And that effort starts with showing up for yourself, day in and day out. Whether it's through learning new skills, developing better habits, or simply challenging yourself to think differently, growth requires you to be actively engaged in your own development. By showing up for yourself, you're committing to a path of continuous improvement, knowing that each step forward brings you closer to the person you want to become. Another key aspect of showing up for yourself is taking responsibility for your own happiness. It's recognizing that no one else can make you happy. True fulfillment comes from within. This means letting go of the idea that external circumstances or other people are responsible for how you feel. Instead, it's about cultivating your own sense of joy and contentment, regardless of what's happening around you. Showing up for yourself is about finding happiness in the small moments, practicing gratitude, and creating a life that feels meaningful to you. It's about prioritizing the things that bring you joy and letting go of anything that detracts from your well-being. Showing up for yourself also means being willing to face your fears and insecurities. It's about acknowledging the areas where you feel uncertain or vulnerable and choosing to move forward anyway. Fear is a natural part of growth, but it doesn't have to hold you back. When you show up for yourself, you're choosing to confront those fears head on rather than avoiding them or letting them dictate your actions. You're making the choice to believe in yourself, even when it feels difficult. This courage builds confidence over time, and with each step you take, you become stronger and more resilient. In showing up for yourself, you're also creating space for your dreams. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and push your own aspirations to the side, but showing up for yourself means making your dreams a priority. It's about setting aside time, even if it's just a few minutes a day, to work toward the things that truly matter to you. This could be pursuing a passion, working on a personal project, or simply dedicating time to self-care. Whatever it is, showing up for yourself means that you're taking action toward your dreams, no matter how small the steps may be. Push through doubt and fear, because they will always be present on the path to achieving anything meaningful. Doubt has a way of creeping in when you're about to make progress, making you second-guess your abilities, your decisions, and the journey you've chosen to take. Fear amplifies those doubts, turning what may be minor uncertainties into roadblocks that feel insurmountable. The key to overcoming this isn't waiting for the fear or doubt to disappear, but rather acknowledging their presence and moving forward anyway. You must realize that doubt and fear are part of growth, an inevitable aspect of stepping into new territory. When you push through doubt and fear, you are actively building courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite it. It's knowing that you might fail, knowing that there might be challenges ahead, but choosing to take a step forward regardless. This is how you develop the resilience to handle the obstacles that will inevitably come your way. Each time you push past your fear, you're sending a powerful message to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts, that you are capable of navigating uncertainty, and that you are worthy of the success you seek. Fear and doubt often arise from a fear of failure. The thought of not succeeding, of making mistakes, or of facing judgment can be paralyzing. But failure is not something to be avoided, it is something to be embraced as part of the process. Every setback, every misstep brings you one step closer to your goal by teaching you valuable lessons along the way. When you push through fear and doubt, you're embracing the idea that failure is not the end, it's just another stepping stone on the path to success. You learn to welcome failure as a teacher, rather than seeing it as a reflection of your worth. Pushing through doubt and fear also forces you to confront your own self-limiting beliefs. These are the internal narratives that tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, or that you don't deserve success. These beliefs can feel so deeply ingrained that they seem like facts. But when you push through, you start to challenge those beliefs. You start to see that many of them are rooted in past experiences or external influences that no longer serve you. By continuing to take action despite your doubts, you begin to rewrite those narratives, proving to yourself that you are far more capable than you ever believed. Another crucial aspect of pushing through doubt and fear is learning to take small, manageable steps. Often, fear comes from looking at the entire journey ahead and feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. But when you break it down into smaller steps, the fear becomes more manageable. Each small action you take builds momentum, and that momentum gradually diminishes the power of your doubts. The more you move forward, the less room there is for fear to control your actions. Before you know it, you're not just taking small steps, you're making significant strides toward your goal. Doubt and fear often thrive in isolation. When you keep your fears and uncertainties to yourself, they can grow into something much larger than they actually are. But when you talk about them, when you share them with others or seek support from people who have been where you are, they lose some of their power. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community, mentors, or even just friends who believe in you can help you push through. They remind you of your potential and offer perspective when your own self-doubt clouds your vision. Having that external support system can be the push you need when your internal strength feels like it's wavering. Pushing through doubt and fear also builds mental toughness. Every time you face your fears and take action anyway, you strengthen your ability to handle discomfort. You become more familiar with the feeling of uncertainty and more adept at managing it. What once felt terrifying gradually becomes less intimidating as you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can navigate through it. This mental toughness doesn't just help in one area of your life, it becomes a skill you can apply to any challenge you face. The more you push through, the more you grow into the kind of person who doesn't back down in the face of fear. When you push through doubt and fear, you also tap into a deeper level of creativity and problem solving. Fear often makes you feel like there's only one right path to success, and if you don't follow it perfectly, you'll fail. But when you embrace the unknown and push forward despite the fear, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You start to see that there are many ways to reach your goal, and you become more resourceful in finding solutions to the challenges that arise. The very act of pushing through fear forces you to think differently, to innovate, and to trust your ability to figure things out as you go. Pushing through doubt and fear is also an act of self-empowerment. It's about reclaiming your power from the external forces or internal narratives that try to hold you back. Every time you face a fear and move forward, you're affirming your own agency in your life. You're taking control of your destiny rather than allowing fear to dictate your choices. This sense of empowerment can be life-changing because it shifts your mindset from one of helplessness to one of possibility. You begin to see that, regardless of what happens, you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Finally, pushing through doubt and fear teaches you to trust yourself. So often, fear is rooted in a lack of trust in yourself, trust in the process, or trust that things will work out. But as you continue to push forward, even when the path is unclear, you start to build that trust. You learn that you can rely on your own instincts, your own resilience, and your own ability to adapt. This trust becomes a powerful force in your life, allowing you to take on even bigger challenges with a sense of confidence and belief in yourself. Over time, this trust will become your foundation, helping you face any doubt or fear that arises with a newfound sense of inner strength. Focus on the long-term vision, because the path to achieving anything meaningful requires patience, persistence, and the ability to see beyond the present moment. It's easy to get caught up in the immediate challenges, distractions, and the desire for quick results, but true success often lies in staying committed to a bigger picture. When you focus on the long-term vision, you remind yourself of the deeper purpose behind your actions. This focus becomes your guide, helping you to make decisions based on where you want to be, not just where you are today. It allows you to push through short-term setbacks, knowing they are just temporary obstacles on the way to something greater. A long-term vision gives your life direction. Without it, you may find yourself drifting from one thing to the next, constantly reacting to what's happening around you instead of proactively shaping your future. Having a clear vision allows you to set intentional goals that are aligned with your deeper desires and aspirations. This doesn't mean that every step of the journey will be perfectly planned out, but it does mean that you have a guiding star to keep you moving forward, even when things feel uncertain. Your long-term vision becomes the framework within which you can make choices, prioritize your time, and stay focused on what truly matters to you. When you focus on the long-term vision, you begin to develop the discipline to make sacrifices in the present for the sake of future rewards. This might mean delaying gratification, making tough decisions, or saying no to short-term opportunities that don't align with your bigger goals. It's about having the foresight to recognize that some things are worth waiting for, and that the effort you invest now will pay off in the long run. This kind of discipline isn't always easy, especially when the present demands your attention, but it's essential for anyone who wants to achieve lasting success. With a long-term vision, you become more willing to do the hard work now, knowing that it's building the foundation for something much greater. Focusing on the long-term vision also helps you build resilience. The journey toward any meaningful goal is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and unexpected challenges. Without a clear vision, these obstacles can feel overwhelming, and you may be tempted to give up when things get tough. But when you keep your eye on the bigger picture, you gain the perspective to see these challenges for what they are: temporary hurdles that can be overcome. This mindset shift allows you to approach difficulties with a sense of purpose and determination, knowing that each setback is just one step on a much larger journey. A long-term vision also helps you stay focused amidst distractions. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to lose sight of your goals amid the noise of everyday life. There are always other demands on your time, other people's expectations, and countless distractions that can pull you away from what's truly important. But when you have a strong vision, it becomes easier to filter out the noise and stay committed to what really matters. You become more selective with how you spend your time and energy, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your long-term objectives rather than being driven by the demands of the moment. When you focus on the long-term vision, you also develop a greater sense of patience. It's natural to want to see immediate results, but meaningful progress often takes time. Patience is a crucial skill in this process, as it allows you to stay the course even when the results aren't immediately visible. With a long-term mindset, you understand that success is the result of consistent effort over time, not a sudden breakthrough. This patience helps you to maintain your momentum, even during the slower phases of your journey, trusting that each small step is contributing to your ultimate goal. A long-term vision fosters consistency, which is one of the most important factors in achieving success. It's not enough to work hard for a short period of time. True progress comes from showing up day after day, even when motivation is low or the path forward seems unclear. When you have a clear vision, it becomes easier to stay consistent because you know what you're working toward. The vision serves as a constant reminder of why you started in the first place, helping you to stay focused and disciplined even when the initial excitement fades. Consistency is the key to building lasting habits and creating sustainable change. Focusing on the long-term vision also encourages you to think strategically. Instead of making decisions based solely on what feels good in the moment, you start to evaluate your choices in terms of how they align with your larger goals. This means thinking about the potential long-term impact of your actions rather than just the immediate outcome. You begin to approach challenges with a problem-solving mindset, looking for solutions that will move you closer to your vision, even if they require more effort or time. This strategic thinking helps you navigate obstacles more effectively and ensures that you're always moving in the right direction. A long-term vision cultivates optimism and hope. When you focus on where you want to be in the future, you're able to maintain a sense of hope and positivity, even during difficult times. The vision gives you something to look forward to, something that motivates you to keep going, no matter how tough things get. It reminds you that the present challenges are temporary and that better days are ahead. This optimism is crucial because it helps you maintain the right mindset and energy to keep pushing forward, even when progress feels slow or setbacks occur.